Okay, so waiting for everything to pop up. One. Okay, and then we got that, and so what I'm going to do here work. Why is it doing that? Their feeds are backwards. Okay, I'll just swap those. Why is it not?
Oh no, you're fine.
Yes. Okay, wait. For some reason they put the alerts on right.
Yeah, I guess he's mercy killing himself.
Thought I had him right. Okay. Hopefully everything is set there now. Alrighty.
Yeah, good luck.
How does that look for everybody?
Be back when you need me.
Got everybody in the right spot. We got the trackers. Left should be neon gray, right should be couch. Is that correct?
Yeah, that looks right.
All right, I will leave you guys to it to introduce yourselves in this run, and good luck to all of the runners, and hopefully they are blessed with good RNG with these seeds.
Right. All right, everybody, let me know if you can hear me. Just getting set up here. Maggie, can you hear me? Somebody, I hear Maggie saying, yeah, I probably should say who I am. Then way you can tell who to say. Like, hey, it's so-and-so. Hey, all right, I am live. That means, Hupfen, you are also live. Hi, all right, so we are here to do a Final Fantasy IV free enterprise race for y'all, and we are very excited to show these two runners and this flag set off. On the left, we have Neon Gray, and on the right, we have Couch 23. They are both very high-level runners of this Final Fantasy IV randomizer, and we are going to watch a race tonight using a flag set that is going to be featured very prominently in our community very soon. It is the flag set for the Highway to the Zenith Zone 3 League, which we'll just kind of refer to as the League from now on. But Hupfen, you are here with us as well. How you doing tonight? What are your thoughts on this seed and this race coming up here?
Well, I'm doing pretty well myself. My thoughts on this so far is we could be in for a very interesting one. For folks who are not very familiar with Final Fantasy. looks of it, 2 of them are going to be pretty straightforward. Our runners start off, as the name implies, with the Enterprise for free, no cost to you. And that means getting to places, at least on the blue planet, pretty straightforward, pretty easy. So we will probably see our runners heading to the Mist Cave and Mount Hobbs, both in good order.
Yeah. Runners need to complete 3 of these objectives. As you were saying, 2 of these objectives are very early on in the seed. And one other thing about the seed is that our starting character, all characters, by the way, if you are familiar with the original Final Fantasy 4/2 US game, you know that there are 12 characters in the game. We have 11 characters in the flag set that we are playing today. Fusoya is not available to our runners, but the next best character, I think most people would argue, is Edge, and Edge is our starting character. So, and it looks like Neon and Couch are off, at least Couch is. We'll get Neon's feed going here in just a second. And we have Rydia as our second character, and we have the Sand Ruby as our starting item. So how about that?
So this is what I was afraid of, to an extent. That Sand Ruby, obviously, that is how you complete Objective 4, Cure the Fever with the Sand Ruby. And as Moonblaze Wolf said, we have to do 3 out of these 4 objectives. I think no points for guessing what 3 both of our runners are going to go for today.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see an Excalibur forged. This is pretty wild. It does look like... I don't know if Neon's feed is frozen or what exactly is going on here right off the bat, but we'll get that worked on. Meanwhile, Couch is headed right to that first objective, which is to defeat the boss of the Mist Cave.
And it's going to be a Shura. So this is a relatively viable fight. I mean, she did just knock Rydia down in one fell swoop. But there are definitely tricks for doing this one. One of them is to just hit her very hard. In the mist spot, this is pretty easy. This is a first boss fight that you would do in the game. So basically anyone can handle it.
But especially Edge. Edge is pretty good that way, so...
Yeah, generally speaking, in Free Enterprise, the characters will join your party at the level that they would when you get them in the vanilla game for the first time. There are several characters that appear multiple times. Edge is kind of a late game character, and so he joins the party at level 25. That's a bit high. Cecil here, the Dark Knight, I believe starts at level 10? 5 or 10, I can never remember. Because it doesn't really matter. He's a Dark Knight right now, and he's only really interesting once we turn him into a Paladin.
Which we may or may not do. So we should probably talk a little bit about... so the big thing that our runners are actually going to have to find, because as we kind of noted now, the objectives are pretty much squared away. The Mist Cave, the Mount Hobbs, and the Sand Ruby are all very, very much right in front of us. Our runners are not going to have a...
Interject a little bit. I have... Oh, okay. Neon is running now? Okay. For a second, I'm just like, I did check Neon's stream feed, and it is still giving audio, so something was going on. But apparently they're started now? They were just a little delayed. All right.
All right, well, we'll see when the video will catch up.
Yep. Meanwhile, Couch has 2 objectives done already, and Couch may have his crystal here in very short order. So the bottleneck for this seed is probably going to be our runners finding a way to the final boss fight and actually being able to complete the game, because they will need to find either the pass or the darkness crystal in order to access the final fight.
Yep, and of course that is granting access to the final fight. The final boss is still a final boss. you've got to get the levels or the strategies in order to actually overcome it. Starting off with base level characters, that's not going to work. Unless you're exceedingly clever, and so far this seed is not even allowing that. So there's also going to be the question of just how do you get strong enough to handle it, and at what point are you strong enough?
Indeed, yeah. And I will just say, and I'm going to throw this question to chat. So there is actually one base level character that can defeat Zeromus on their own. That is in these seeds, because I mentioned Fusoya is not currently available. Any guesses from chat who that base level character that Couch is probably looking for, if I was to guess, is?
And if you're a regular in the community, please don't spoil it for everybody else, because it is quite interesting to see happen. And it does look from my side like neongray's video is going. It's a fair bit behind, but it is moving.
And yeah, we do have in chat, Zeratek guessed Edward. That is correct. Edward could conceivably, a base level Edward can conceivably defeat Zeromus. So we will see if that is the route either of our runners choose to go in. It looks like Neon's video is all completely caught up as well, and I'm gonna guess they are pretty much neck and neck here.
Yeah, we are seeing though that Couch has come up to rescue the hostage, who was a second Kane. There are more character slots than characters, so that's bound to happen. And is taking on this Leviathan.
Yep, Leviathan. This will give a nice chunk of experience to Couch's party. This boss spot on Mount Hobbs, in addition to being one of that last required objective, really, does give about 4,000 and a little bit extra XP. So for any of the low-level characters that Couch and Neon have who do survive this fight, they are going to get a nice boost in their levels.
Yes, of course, surviving the fight is the prerequisite. So unfortunately, Couch's Rydia will not be gaining the XP, but everyone else will. And with that, that's a crystal for Couch, and the entire royalty of the Summons Town just eliminated already. What have we done?
A sub 7-minute crystal for both runners. Unbelievable. I have never seen anything like this before. All right, so now we are on the hunt for the pass or the darkness crystal, and possibly Edward. So this is very wild. Now, if our runners cannot find it on the overworld, there are a lot of spots. Now, the darkness crystal does grant access to the moon area, which has some additional key item checks. But we do know that the darkness crystal has to be either on the overworld or in the underground, because obviously it can't be on the moon, since that is how you get to the moon.
Yep, and with this rule set that we have, there are a few additional safeties that are kind of by default. One of those is that in order to get to the underground, you do not necessarily have to go to the moon. That will always be like the order. It's overworld, underworld, moon. Whether you go to the underworld, that's a different question, but you will be able to. So we are a little more likely to find that hook or that magma key, the two ways that you could get underground, before we find the darkness crystal.
Yep, very, very likely. Although it's not a guarantee. But we will see how this all unfolds from here. I did see Neon got a second edge, and yes, you can have duplicate characters in this randomizer. It does depend on your flag set. There is a flag that allows for or takes away duplicate characters, but that is not enabled in this flag set. So we do have the 2 edges for Neon, and I don't think Couch made it down there yet, so we'll be curious to see what his party composition looks like. I think for our runner's sake, they're going to be looking for definitely a white mage and then a lot of damage dealers. I think that's kind of the general idea that they're going to be going for here.
Yeah, we have, we're seeing Porum, or in Couch's case, Morum, one of the things you can set up is little name modifiers. But Porum is a white mage, is a perfectly viable one to include. And we're also seeing Couch doing a little bit of strategy here. You notice they went and knocked out Rydia. Usually you don't want to be like beating up your own party, but here you kind of maybe do. Especially when you get to the end of the game and you start thinking about characters' agility. Moonblaze Wolf, do you want to try to attempt to explain agility anchoring in this game?
I mean, I think we'll talk about it a little bit more later on in detail, but so basically what you need to know at this point is that the character in that middle spot is the character that all of the game's agility system, or ATB battle system, if you prefer, is based off of. So essentially how it works, and it kind of flip-flops about halfway through the game, but generally speaking, if you want a slow character in the middle, or for Zeromus specifically, you want a character with a certain number agility, and that's the part that I think we will talk about a little bit more later on. But the reason Couch is keeping that Rydia down is a level 1 Rydia is going to be a very good agility anchor for a very long time. Now, there is another reason why Couch might be doing this as well, and it has to do with the experience system of this game. Since I kind of took a stab at the black arts known as agility anchoring, Hupfin, do you want to explain why it might be beneficial for Couch to keep a low-level character, especially a black mage, dead like that for later on?
Certainly. As I do so, I will point out that Couch has found the Darkness Crystal, further defying the sheer speed of this game. This is an unusually generous seed, everybody. But what happens here, one of the modifiers that, is on by default, is that experience is shared rather than split. So the number that you see at the end, that's what everybody gets. But that's just the baseline. If you have a full party, and you have one party member that is 5 or more levels below the average of everyone else, yes, I'm sorry, there's math involved, that character gets what's referred to as slingshotting. They get double the XP. And there are ways to then basically take a character, make them intentionally as low level as possible for as long as possible, so that they're in that group, and then just do one fight that gets you so much XP, it's almost comical. So that character gets twice as much of that comical amount, and you can end up with a black mage going from level 1, where Rydia starts, to, say, level 48, level 57 in one fight. And that's a good way to get a lot of levels and a lot of spells. And for Rydia in particular, that's pretty valuable, just because she learns Nuke a little later than you might want the Black Mage to. But that's just in comparison to Palom, who learns all those spells way too early.
Yeah, one of the interesting things about the randomizer is you get all of these characters that, it's a story-driven game, Final Fantasy IV, and you don't typically get certain characters like Edge this early, or you don't get characters like Porum for the end game part of the game. So they weren't necessarily designed with all of that in mind. So you have Porum, who Porum is deficient in some ways, but also Porum is very good because Porum gets the Berserk spell in particular a lot earlier than the endgame White Mage in Final Fantasy IV Rosa does. And the same with Palom, who we are not seeing right now, but Palom gets two really excellent spells, Virus and Quake, very early on in his level progression. But they do kind of even out at the end. Like, Rydia and Palom both get Nuke, which is sort of like the optimal spell about the same time at the end, early 50s.
Yeah, it's still a little surprising that the twins even have stuff in the code that goes to level 50. Because again, you're not supposed to have those characters that long, but that stuff was in there. And the randomizer likes to bring that kind of thing out.
Yep, and it does just kind of make the characters much more dynamic for the randomizer as well, because you do get to take other characters to the end of the game and things like that. All right, and Neon picks up their Darkness Crystal as well, so both characters are officially in go mode, and now they just have to figure out what to do, what their strategy is going to be for that final fight. So we have Couch. Looks like Couch is scaling Mount Ordeals, and there's a couple of reasons why this probably makes some sense, but we still actually might need to find that underground access too, depending on what our runners decide to do here. So, and we just got a huge raid from the Free Enterprise channel. Welcome on in, everybody. We are watching Neon Gray and Couch race the League 3 flag set group. And guess what? We are less than 15 minutes in, and they are already in go mode. And I'm also going to use the donate command because we are also here raising money for charity. And we do have a donation incentive, which has already been decided. Hupfen, do you want to recap the Zeromus Sprite incentive? I don't remember. I remember one of the options, but I don't remember the other one because it got blown out of the water.
I mean, the only option that we need to know is the end of this game is going to be a bit cuter than usual. So you've been seeing like bosses are wherever they decide to be. They do what they want. We just fought the Water Hag on top of Mount Ordeals. That's not where it lives, but it's there now. We don't mess with Zeromus, though. Zeromus is always in that spot, and it's always that fight. It's a certain level of consistency, and also that fight is just gnarly. So we can't shuffle that around. Instead, we shuffle around what Zeromus looks like. You use the crystal on his blue, bizarre, vaguely crustacean form. And in this run, we're going to get something cute. That's all we know. Our art team, Scala Kitty, she has put together so many of the sprites that we see. I'm not sure if she's behind the one that we're getting tonight. I think she has at least put her vote in for the cute. But I don't know what it's going to be. I have not been told. And it will be an interesting and entertaining surprise for us all once we get there.
Absolutely. So, and yeah, just to get everybody up to speed, because you're probably wondering, why do they already have the crystal and the darkness crystal this early on in the seed? Their objectives were, you can see them very, very faintly on Neon screen, but obviously Forge, which is always in the League 3 flag set, but then the other three were beat the boss of the Mist Cave, rescue the hostage on Mount Hobbs, and cure the fever with the Sand Ruby. We had an edge start, and the Sand Ruby was the key item, so yeah, that pretty much took care of that, and then the Darkness Crystal was at Fabul, which was successfully defended by both Neon and Couch, and now they are both in go mode. I think the... Go ahead, Hupfen, I'm sorry.
I was going to say, Couch may have obtained the most key item, having gotten the Twin Harp.
Hey, we like the Twin Harp. Twin Harp is also a item that produces a randomized effect. In the original Final Fantasy IV, the Twin Harp is used by Edward to play a song, which breaks the Dark Elf's curse. Oh, hey, it's the Dark Elf. Okay, that is not the Dark Elf that I just looked over. I looked at Couch's screen and I was very confused for a second. I was like, wow, he got to Cave Magnus really fast. So so yeah, but now I assume Couch is going to take that Twin Harp at some point, probably, hopefully, for the people, over to Cave Magnus, and fight the original Dark Elf spot where Edward plays a song that will break the curse. But in the randomizer, we actually randomize that song as well. So you will likely hear something not from a Final Fantasy game, or at least not from Final Fantasy IV. You will hear something either from a different RPG or a different video game. Mostly, there's a few pop culture ones in there, but very, very few. It's mostly just other video game music, and it is wonderful to behold. So
Yeah, I was gonna say it feels like it's Final Fantasy IX music in particular a lot of the time, at least for me. But that's another one of those things that we randomize because why not? If you're gonna have to sit there and listen to music, you might as well put some jams on.
That's true, indeed. And one of the fun things, so this is a struggle that we have had as a community to get the Twin Harp music every seed. In the current version of the game that Couch and Neon are both running, which is version 4.1, there you actually have the option now of, after you complete the seed, even if you didn't get the Twin Harp during your journey, you can actually just once the game is completed, you can either load any save that you made, or you can even start a new game. And when you go visit Edward in the bed in Teroya, the harp will be there and it will play the music for you.
But anyway, Couch has decided instead to head towards the moon to go and visit the Humming Ways, just to check out what shop is there. At this point, you're thinking, how do you get to Zaroma safely? So you're thinking, what strategy can I apply? And a lot of them end up requiring certain items. So certainly taking a look around, seeing what they can find.
I was just thinking too, like, Hupfin, do we just want to go ahead and give our tracker the rest of the night off at this point?
I mean, we got what we need.
We do. I mean, there's so much more though, potentially. Like, this could be, like, there are seeds like this sometimes. I can't say that this is the fastest seed I personally have seen in this flag set. But this does happen, and it is a actually really, really interesting part of this randomizer, especially with high-level players, figuring out how they are going to put the levels or the resources together in order to take down that final boss fight. Because the final boss fight is no joke, and you definitely need a strategy going into it. And clearly our runners are not there yet. There's a couple things that they might want to find as far as items that will help them grind. But a lot of this is underground. So I do think... I think Edward, all the character spots at this point have been checked. I don't think Edward exists above ground right now. So I think we may just see our runners instead trying to get underground, and then that's going to really open up a lot of options as well. Hopefully. It might not. There's an item called Sirens, which are not guaranteed to be anywhere, but if they can find Sirens, they can use those to pretty quickly level up on some very safe encounters. We also haven't seen... So another character that could be very useful right now for our runners is Tella, and I don't think we've seen a Tella yet.
I don't believe we've seen one either. We do have Couch heading into the Baron Inn. There is a character to be found here, along with a couple boss fights, and there's the Bard.
There's the man.
So we'll see if Couch is taking on this fight just for the experience, or, well, this will be an experience.
Wyvern. Okay, oh no, he didn't kill it. Oh, now he did. Couch is Wyvern script has not changed, and Wyvern still opens with an AoE mega nuke, which did not go off because Edge is faster, but still, that was pretty wild.
Yeah, we are focusing a little bit on Couch just because, at least with our feed, neongray is pretty much following in their footsteps, doing Mount Ordeals, and getting the Twin Harp out of that. No idea what their next step is going to be, though. So we might see some additional divergence.
Yeah, there's nothing that's going to stop the runners from going and doing the Twin Harp now either. So we could see Neon go and checking the music. Being the hero of the people of the Retro Rainbow race tonight, Couch is fighting a big ol' nope noodle for Edward. We'll see if he takes Edward here. That's a sign, because you wouldn't take Edward at this point if you weren't going to do the Edward strat. So we'll see here what Couch decides to do. Also, that Drain Spear is super interesting for reasons that I might end up having to talk about soon. And
no
okay.
no Bard for Couch.
All right.
So,
Now, Huffin and I are kind of talking about this from the booth, like this is just something that like everybody should know and be able to execute. But let me tell you, the Edward strats that that Couch is opting not to go for, probably the hardest endgame strategy in the game. So it is not for the faint of heart. It is very, very technical and very, very difficult. You have to know Zeromus' script inside and out, which I actually know Couch does because Couch is actually a very prolific vanilla runner of this game. And that is certainly vital to the vanilla speedrun as well. Not the Edward part, but the knowing Zeromus' script part. But it could just be any number of things. But yeah, but Couch is continuing to hunt for that underground access, I think, at this point.
Yeah, just to give a sense of, okay, how difficult is this Edward strat? How complex is it? I have seen races where runners have used this strategy or a variant of it, and the fight takes them a good 20, 30 minutes almost. And you have to go that entire time with all of your timing precise. One slip up and you will throw off the script and you will die. And runners are able to do that. And it's very, very impressive. But it's also very time consuming. So if you're going to do it, you have to decide and commit early. But it could win you races. And it's quite the spectacle nonetheless.
It's definitely something most people have not seen before. So, I mean, if we do get the opportunity, we'll see here what Neon does. Waiting. Neon's thinking about it. Neon's thinking about it. Oh, nope.
No.
Okay. No Edward
Okay.
strats tonight. That's fine. That's fine. It's pretty wild, but I will also say, for the record, it's also kind of boring to watch. Like, it's 15 minutes of Edward hiding and unhiding and using star veils. So
It's tense, but it's
It's exciting to be the one doing the thing. It's a little bit less exciting to watch once the initial sort of shock factor wears off. But yeah, so we're gonna be settling in for a slightly more traditional sprint to the finish here. That finding that underground access is pretty critical at this point, and it does look like it is going to require this this twin harp, so that's exciting. We should see both runners going and doing this twin harp check now.
You know, it's like we had Couch real quick looking for some additional loot. These chocobo forests, they've always got some kind of treasure. But we have set the flag set here that not all the treasure locations actually have stuff. So generally speaking, runners are not going to be very incentivized to really hunt down treasure. Neongray was doing a little bit of it earlier in the Watery Pass, because that area has a little bit more incentive. But generally speaking, you're grabbing whatever you find and you're working with what you have.
Yes, indeed. And the flag set that we are using tonight, we did not mention, yeah, there's like just some straight up blanks out there, which is always a little bit frustrating as a runner. But on the flip side, we do have items. All of the items in the game, except for what are considered the very best items, could potentially be at any treasure spot. So so there is some pretty valuable loot hiding out there for our party members in different areas. So we'll see. I mean, the thing that you need to do at this point, and they're probably both thinking about, is I need to get my gear, I need to get my levels, and I need to go, because I'm sure they both realize as well that the other runner is going to be in the same position that they are, just, you know, ready to go, just trying to figure out how to get there. And we got that twin harp coming up, Hupfin.
Oh yeah.
Let's get ready to rock out for Retro Rainbow. Let's go. Couch speeding up the fight a little bit, using that kamikaze to great effect. Saves a couple cycles. For those of you who, you know, you're here for the speedrun. Do a little speedrun tech there. And now we're going to be quiet and let y'all listen to Edward's tune tonight. And I'm going to actually mute my mic so I can hear it as well. I'm not going to lie, I kind of wanted to sing along.
I had to restrain myself.
Calamity, we are making a note here. Huge success. Well done.
Yes.
And we're about to get an encore, actually. I don't know if our restreamer is going to be able to flip things that quickly, but we might get it again. Couch picks up the hook, which is the kind of the long way underground. So hold on, there's more excitement still to come. And potential rudeness that only a randomizer can provide.
And yes, Neon showed the credit really quick, but again, tip of the hat to Calamity for...
Did I?
Right?
All right, so the hook is what allows us to pick up the hovercraft, and Couch is going to run down here through the Eblin Cave, which leads into the Tower of Babel. Now, the one thing that could derail this plan is if Couch checks the shop and there's sirens for sale. And guess what? There's sirens for sale.
Sirens and coffins.
That is potentially really good. Now we'll see how they decide to handle this. Like, I would say at this point, you don't need to keep going, but we'll see what our runners decide to do.
So the reason that's so incredible, that's a genuinely incredible item shop. One of the many options for quick grinding is to do what we call an egg grind. There are certain spots in the underground where if you use a siren, you are guaranteed to get an encounter with an egg. You fight an egg. Inside is a dragon, but if you can defeat it before it hatches, that's a lot of XP, and eggs don't fight. Dragons fight, but eggs don't. Another common option is to take Tella and do what we call the D-Machine grind.
Oh, hey, there's Tella.
Oh, hey, there's Tella.
Oh, boy. But there's some complications to that, too, in this flag set. So I don't know. We'll have to see what they decide to do. There's also another option that's not eggs that they could potentially siren right now, but I just don't know. I don't know where Couch and Neon are at, because a lot of stuff has changed very, very recently in the randomizer, and I don't want to assume that... Like, even I'm still learning new stuff. Like, I learned there's a new step count for one of these telegrinds that I literally just learned like 2 days ago. So I can't even like sit here and be like, well, they don't know how to do this, that, or whatever, because it's hard to do. So it's hard to keep up with all this stuff. But Couch, it looks like Couch has exited Eblin Cave, so Couch has no interest in going underground anymore.
Yeah, this looks like a turn-in of the Mist Dragon. We fought the Mist Dragon with the wonderful sounds of Still Alive. And with this rule set, that actually gets you a key item once you come to Mist. Or
That's
an
right.
item of high quality. It's not guaranteed to be a key item.
An item of great renown. And a
And
Moonveil is
Moonveil-
certainly that.
Yeah, I'll renown that all day.
Yeah, Moonveil is basically an invincibility shield, so there are certain things that can damage through it, but not very many. So, all right. So now we will see what Couch decides to do. It looks like Couch is flying over to Baron. Interesting. Hupfen, I don't know if you have been keeping up with all of the latest tech, but do you know what Couch is doing right about now?
I think Couch wants to give us a reminder of where we've come from, and is looking to meet up with some old friends, like some imps. This is all part of that new step route that Moonblaze Wolf was just talking about. So we are trying to basically manipulate the random spawns so that when Couch goes up into the Giant of Babel and goes to a particular area, they will get a particular encounter, and that will get a big boat of XP.
Yep. So he is. It's basically a big old chart, but Couch is trying to figure out the perfect spot in the step count so that then he can toggle his encounters off, which is an option only in the randomizer. And then once he toggles his encounters off, he will go up to the giant to a specific floor and he will turn them back on. And if Couch does it right, the next encounter will be the grind fight that he is looking for. Because the reason that he can't just go up and figure this out in the giant, which is what you'll actually see if you look at vanilla speedruns of this game, and also a lot of races of the randomizer, but there is a specific flag called Can't Run, which is enabled in this flag set. And the Can't Run flag is exactly what it sounds like. You cannot run from encounters. So if you turn on those encounters and you don't get the one you want in the giant, you have to fight it either way, and that is not good when your party is this low level. So this is the backup strategy that was discovered within the last couple weeks, and like I said, I only learned this a few days ago myself, to manipulate the encounters and the step count Earthside so that when you come up here to the giant, you just have to turn them on and you should get the one that you're looking for. And the reason Tella was so useful, you'll see once we start this encounter fight. Tella has the weak spell because we completed Mount Ordeals, and the monsters that Couch will be fighting are susceptible to that weak spell, which basically leaves a monster with single-digit hit points. So you'll see Couch use the weak spell and then just do a single attack and finish off the monster, which is called a D-Machine, and then he will fight through. There is no danger. All of the enemies in these fights, unless you mess something up, they will only do percentage-based attacks. So they cannot kill you unless you make a mistake, basically.
Now, you say that, it is pretty easy to make a mistake. And certainly, as you're trying to do this as rapidly as possible, you're planning out a step or two ahead. Anyone gets out of line and you're in for a world of hurt.
That is absolutely true. I do not mean to make this sound overly simple, but yeah, if you have played this game enough, especially someone like Couch, who again, this is a vanilla speedrun strategy as well. Couch is well versed in how to do the D-Machine fight, so I don't I don't foresee any problems for Couch.
Yes, on top of just beating up these enemies, beating up the D machines, which is possible because this searcher will just keep bringing them in one after another. But on top of that, we'll see if he's got the inventory for it. We tend to do what's called the life glitch, when if you kill an enemy but also cast life on it right afterwards, you do bring the enemy back to life based on its vitality. Enemies have 0 vitality. All of them. So you bring it back and it's instantly dead again, and hey, double XP.
Yep, it's a pretty great glitch. Does speed up these fights quite a bit, as well as just the experience that characters get is naturally doubled. Or it's not split, I should say. So it is not going to be doubled because they don't have 10 key items, but it isn't going to be split either. So you will see Couch's party come out of this pretty much ready to go to the end, probably, if all is done correctly. And I think Neon has tread all of that ground now as well. We'll see what Neon decides to do here.
Yeah, they do have the hook. They do have the hovercraft over here, but they're parking outside of Eblin Castle, which does have some trap chest encounters. Those will still be on. I'm honestly curious. Yeah, they're going to head into the castle. There'll be no key items in here. It's just the encounters and probably some mid to higher tier loot.
Could just be looking for money as well. That's something that is a possibility. Because if you find the right treasure that your characters can't really make good use of here, you could sell it for a ton of money. And Neon knows where sirens are, just maybe didn't have enough money to buy all of the ones that they needed the first time around. So that could be the case. Could also just be trying to get some additional XP to make that hook route easier. There's definitely some good reasons to be in here for sure.
Yeah, I'm also noticing their party is much more fighter focused.
That's for sure. Who needs white mages?
I mean, see, Cecil does healing. He knows gear 2. He knows gear 2.
On Couch's side, I see did Tella miss a week? Is that what happened?
Possibly. Things seem to have gone amiss.
Couch is recovering nicely, though. I think this is going to be okay. But something happened there that is not what we'd like to see. Neon got an Artemis bow for that first trap chest. That's a pretty nice item.
Yeah, it's the strongest bow available to you. It does come with a little drawback of reducing your Wiz and Will stats, your Wisdom and Will. And those are used for casting white and black magic. So if you're giving that to a mage, it's not the best decision. But give it to someone like Sid, who's more of a fighter but can use a bow and arrow, and you'll get some good damage out of them.
Absolutely. Yep. And even a white mage.
Yeah, there are certainly ways to make up for the reduction in stats. Just a white shirt completely erases that deficit.
Neon's Edge just got charmed, but thankfully escapes the fight. That's always a little bit scary. And it gets a glass hat. I think Neon... Go ahead.
I was going to say, not the greatest reward, unfortunately. Not terrible, but not quite what you're hoping for.
I mean, the nice thing at this point is Neon is finding those trap chests pretty quickly. So if they really are, if they are here kind of looking for the XP and the loot, I think they have achieved that goal. So, and yeah, I can already hear Neon's voice coming through the stream, the chant beginning, Quint, 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 Quint.
I mean, with with this being the randomizer, with the final party being completely up in the air, that opens up some additional strats for how you handle the final fight. And one of those is to just bring in a bunch of heavy hitters with way too much experience and give them all wine.
The wine is actually the most important part of that whole thing. Believe it or not, there is an item called Bacchus wine that I'm sure Neon will be hoping to find in shops that will automatically give your character the berserk status, and the berserk status in this game is actually pretty broken. So,
yep, increases the damage you do and increases how often you do it. All at the cost of giving up control of your characters, but when that's your strategy, it really just saves you time.
Definitely does. Yeah, who needs a turn? Who needs your turn to pop up when you're just gonna hit fight anyways? And also gets a white spear for Kane, so that's not bad. Also just gonna call out Maggie the cat with a $25 donation to Retro Rainbow. Thank you so much, Maggie. That is awesome. I think actually Neon just found a white spear in a random chest, because here's the actual last trap chest. Hey, it's that it's that awesome T Wildish flag. There you go.
Yeah, they also found crystal armor for Cecil, just in a chest, just sitting there. This is an area that is considered more dangerous because of these trap chests. So you have a higher possibility of finding good loot.
High risk, high reward, as they say.
Indeed. The couch has been maintaining that risk and reward over in the D Machine grind. I have not kept count of how many he's gone through, but it's got to have been a lot by now.
Yeah, I know he's already refilled Tella on MP at least a couple times, so I think a lot of times, okay, and there's the final week on the searcher, so Couch is wrapping this up here. A lot of times there's like a really precise number of D machines that we want to kill to get the amount of XP that we want, and then there's other times where it's just like, I'm just going to kill these things until I can't kill them no more, and we'll see if everybody ends up at level 75. I saw 75,000 XP, which roughly translates to, I want to say, 9 or 10 D machines killed.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's getting double that, though. I'm not sure anybody was in slingshot range.
I don't think so. I think Porum was a little too high. But still, we're seeing 23, 29 levels out of a single fight, as you do.
Yep, I think the party ended up right around the high 40s or 50 for Couch, so that's pretty good. And if he wants a little bit more on the way to Zeromus, he does have those sirens still as well. So Couch looking to be in pretty good shape, I think, to go to the end here. Sub-hour in play.
That is, we can't really understate how incredibly fast that is for this flag set, and for most flag sets that people will run of this. There are so many ways to customize and tweak the rules of engagement on this. I tend to play this with my own rule set where you're probably going 2.5, 3 hours most of the time. Whereas others will do ones where an hour is slow. But this is one of those where an hour is quite fast indeed.
Yep, I would say, as someone who's been practicing quite a bit for the upcoming event, a good average time is probably an hour 30 to an hour 45, which I believe was the estimate that these two gave, was an hour 45. So, and Couch and Neon are both extremely good runners, as we were saying earlier. So that is definitely kind of like the high end of the estimate. And obviously there are individual things that can happen that can make that go a little bit longer, but I mean, I have not finished a seed in under an hour in all of my practice. I think that I've gotten stuff, like between 105 and 110, but those were very special seeds. Maybe not quite as special as this one, but they, you kind of need everything to fall into place to finish the seed this quickly. So
Yeah, but everything has been, so we'll see if Couch has decided that things are falling in place enough, or if he wants to take some of those siren grinds that you mentioned, or if we're going to get introduced to Zeromus in surprisingly short order.
I think Couch is definitely confident enough that they should be able to do this. Now I think with Neon, Neon is probably just going. If I was to guess Neon's moves here, I think Neon is just going to bust through this hook route, and then I think they are going to go ahead and start taking out those eggs and take care of their levels that way. So I don't think Neon is that far behind. The egg grind does go really fast once you get going on it. So I don't think it does seem like Neon's kind of maybe behind at this point, but I don't think it's as behind as you might think. For those of us who know the game pretty well.
Yeah, I feel like Couch has a pretty good setup right now. Every character is basically level 50. That's about where you need to be. But one high roll, one thing going awry on you. We have seen runners in our community races look like they're in great shape and end up taking a wipe to Zeromus because just something goes away from them. And that would really be all you need for Neon Gray to pick things back up. And
Absolutely.
Certainly Couch can do more grinding and meet Dr. Luggage, as we like to call him.
Yep, Dr. Dialogue. That is a pretty slow fight. I think that to me does signal though that Couch is maybe looking for some more like cheap XP. Although not willing to do those sirens, but there's a couple spots down here that have pretty high XP totals. He might check this next one as well, and then maybe decide to go do some sirens. So, but yeah, we'll see here. The other thing, nope, he's going.
Yeah.
But I think it's a little risky, especially because Porum's hit points, max hit points, are well within the amount that Zeromus can very easily kill with his Big Bang attack. So we'll see what happens. Neon also has much better gear than Couch does. So I think if this does get interesting, Neon's advantage on the gear front could also come into play.
Yeah, that is one big thing that Neon has gotten out of that Eblin Castle run and a few other looting spots here and there. Is just you want the great gear. That absolves so many sins. It's just wailing on things with a crystal sword.
And did Neon just get Fine Tella finally, and then decide to get out of Dodge? Okay, so I think Neon maybe also going to go do that D Machine grind now. That also works.
Well, no, they skipped on Tella. They didn't even bother.
Interesting. Okay.
So yeah, they might go with the King Ryu grind. In fact,
we gotta. I don't want to cut you off, Hupfin, but I know we've got a very special Zeromus sprite coming up here, and I'm gonna have you ask the question that we always ask when we are doing these free enterprise races, for everyone who's watching right now.
Whose butt are we kicking tonight?
Indeed. So many butts, so little time. We are gonna kick a brand new butt tonight for you here at Retro Rainbow. It is the cute butt that your donations went for. Who doesn't love a cute butt, right? And it is, let's see here.
hello, miss.
Hello, it's adorable. It's also pure evil.
Yep.
Very, very good. Excellent work, Scala. And this was actually I know a fellow speedrunner. This is actually not just a random sprite, and I know Scala always likes to include games from the marathon. I believe Fire Splitter earlier on in the weekend ran Hello Kitty Cruisers. So this is a tie-in to a marathon game that was a part of this event.
And so far, this is a fight that is going almost as you would expect, in the sense that Tello just immediately took a dive to the floor. That's, as we were saying, that's kind of Tella's purpose here, and why he didn't get the levels at the end of Couch's grind. Tella is old and slow. That's just the design of the character. And if Tella is slow and in the middle, then by relation, Zeromus is slow, and everyone else is fast. So it becomes a lot easier to get more attacks in, to survive more big bangs, so on and so forth.
Absolutely. And now we are seeing this is the really high level part of the fight now, because what Couch is doing is Couch is trying desperately to keep Porum alive. So what you are seeing here is, I believe that was an attempt to we would say nerf that Big Bang, because normally Big Bang does 18, 17, 18, 2000-ish damage. It can get a little bit higher than that. Oh, it looks like he just missed that nerf and had to do a reset. There is a window in the script where if you cast a spell on Zeromus, usually after a shake, the shake is like, I am ready to Big Bang your face. And if you cast a direct spell, and we saw Couch try to do a slow there, that will actually lower the magic damage or magic attack of Zeromus, because it's part of the script that when you cast a direct spell like that, he counters with a nuke, but it's not a full powered nuke. It's a nuke at a lower magic attack level. But if you do it within that right window, that will then carry over to the actual Big Bang itself. So the Big Bang will deal about 50% of the damage that it normally would do. So it's a really difficult thing to time. It's a really tricky thing. But yeah, without being able to do that, Porum is going to have a really hard time staying upright with that only 1539 hit points. So looks like Couch is going to pad that now with some extra levels. This is a pretty free fight. It's just going to take a little bit of time, but that should help quite a bit with that Zeromus fight later on.
Absolutely. Now that Big Bang nerf, as we call it, the first time through the script is actually surprisingly easy. It's a very good thing to learn how to do. It's the subsequent ones that the window just gets tighter and tighter. And as we saw with Couch, like being able to do it past the first one is an incredible skill to try and develop.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it is not for the faint of heart at all, because there's no like visual cue or anything for it. There's the shake, but even that, like, you can't just say, oh well, you just go after the shake, because that actually doesn't work. You have to do the window is even tighter than that. So yeah, and we've got Neon doing some of these moon encounters. Neon is going to catch up on XP very, very quickly here.
Oh yeah, Neon has found the Alt Gauntlet, as we call it, in Cave Bahamut. So one of the boss encounters, we saw both of these runners do it earlier, is when in the storyline you would go and defend Fabul from invaders. And that plays out as a series of 6, it's effectively random encounters in terms of enemy level and whatnot. And so we loop that into the boss pool, and you can set it so you have a little fun with what those random encounters actually are. So we've turned that on, and neongray is now fighting 6 moon random encounters back to back until they decide that it's simply too much and reset out, because moon encounters are tough.
Yeah, that's a pretty tricky set of encounters for sure. All of the moon ones are pretty bad, but I think I saw Neon kind of side-eyeing those 20 sirens in their inventory too, and I think we're gonna move on to something else that might be a little bit better. So
yeah,
those did we really talk about what sirens do? We talked about the eggs, I guess, but yeah, sirens will summon the rarest random encounter on a particular tile set that you're standing on. So there are certain ones that we basically know all the information, so we know that certain floors of the the final dungeon here can give us encounters that are very favorable. So so we'll see which Neon decides to do now.
Yeah, we did see Couch got through the Dr. Luge fight, picked up the Pink Tail and the Murasame, or Masamune, I wasn't clear enough. A good sword for Edge is what matters.
Indeed. I think Neon really wanted a white mage there. Unfortunately gets Yang, the punch mage.
Yeah, Yang would be great to find early on when you have the time. You can get him to the levels that he needs to really become overwhelmingly powerful. But it takes levels. That's why we call him the punch mage.
So we're doing a little looting here on Neon's side. Maybe checking for... There's some trap chests up here as well. Some of those are pretty favorable encounters. Probably just looking for something to sort of kickstart the way to the end here. And we do see Couch headed down now.
Yeah, I think they're taking on... Oh, they found a freebie for sure.
That is the
Evelyn
freest of
Royalty.
boss fights. Nice. Yep.
They don't do much damage. They don't have much HP, relatively speaking. And if you have free bosses on, they will just go away after a while.
Yep, this is going to be a cool... I think it's probably 59,000 XP at this spot for Neon. So this is going to be exactly what they needed. It's something in that ballpark. It's 50 to 60. But yeah, this is totally free. The only sad part is both Edges are going to be facing the horrible realization that their parents are monsters and no longer with them. But, you know, it happens.
Yeah, I mean, we don't talk about the emotional part of Free Enterprise because it's kind of sad, and why do that when there's cute over on Couch's screen?
Yes, it is time for round 2. The cutening. Forum did pick up a little bit more XP now. Couch possibly has a better strategy here too. I don't think a ton changed, but Couch is trying it again. This is definitely the kind of seed where you get to that 1 hour mark and you start getting really nervous that a finish could come from your opponent at any point in time. So yeah, I think there's been 2 Porums. Question from Maggie in chat. We also had access to Rydia, and I'm pretty sure... Well, I saw an Asura somewhere in somebody's inventory, but yeah, these parties were definitely sort of hand-picked by our 2 runners, so...
Yeah, we had free characters on, so there are spots throughout the game where you just waltz right up and you get a character, or 2. And those have been available, so that's quite a few options that our runners had, and they've definitely tailored their parties to match. And we do see that first big bang on Couch's side, getting nerfed as you would expect. Still a little high roll, it felt like, but perfectly manageable numbers that time.
Yep, and now we just have to see how Couch is gonna manage the rest of the fight. So one thing that should help quite a bit is Kane is not berserked, so as long as Kane can stay upright, even if disaster strikes, Porum can get Porum back up and continue onward with the fight. So Kane hopefully not betraying Couch tonight and providing a essential white mage backup here.
Meanwhile, Neon has found one of the behemoths on the moon. There are quite a few of these in trap chests, and they hit hard. And they hit every time you hit them. So they actually have the ideal kind of party for this, in that they have all physical attackers. Behemoths have extremely good magic defense, so coming in with mage is a problem. But this group should be able to handle getting the HP down and getting a good bit of XP as a result.
I think
Don't know what they're trying to steal though.
I don't know. I don't know what behemoths have. Maybe we'll find out. I think so. I know Kane has the glass helm on, I believe. One of them does. I think he also used a moon or I'm sorry. I think they also used a moon veil. I was thinking Kane, not Neon, so that's my mistake there. But I believe there's at least one moon veil in play as well. So that middle Ebgy is impervious to the behemoth's attack. So this is going to be a very nice boost for Neon here. Miss. That poor behemoth. Just, it's trying so hard.
Zeroma's trying hard to knock out that. Nope, that edge is gone. Barely survived the nuke, but the Big Bang is a great equalizer. Even nerfed, which that was a successful nerf mid-fight.
Very nicely done by Couch. And Neon getting through that behemoth, also very nicely done. Picking up another really nice chunk of XP for that party. And a Masamune, very nice.
Woohoo!
That is Edge's best weapon. It seems like Couch's Zeromus fight, or Hellomus fight, is sailing along pretty smoothly here this time. Has been able to keep the team upright and the damage flowing. It does look like we are also in the second phase of the fight because of that unsolicited nuke from Zeromus. That means that we are in part 2 of the fight. Part 3 will be when the rocks start to fall, and that's when we get really excited. Unless it comes right after a Big Bang, which is bad.
Well,
but
nope, they came right now. So that is one edge down, unfortunately. But we are in the final stage of this fight. We might have the clear any moment so long as Evade holds up. Kane doing the best evade possible by not being in the scene. And there we have it.
Couch coming in first place with a time of 1:06:33. Get those GGs out in chat. Very nicely done by Couch23 tonight for you here at Retro Rainbow. And Kane has decided not to come back. Kane is just like, I'm out. See y'all next time.
Kane is like, my work here is done, and then he just floats away in space.
Of course.
That's how Dragoons work, right?
Yep.
That's totally how they work.
He's got the jumping part down, just maybe not the landing part.
I did not expect this to go as well as it did for Couch. That was just over an hour.
I mean, who could have predicted this? This was a wild, wild seed, so very well done by Couch, yeah. And Neon as well. Neon is very close to being able to finish this seed too.
Oh,
not
yeah,
far
Neon
behind
is
at
just
all.
a little bit behind. Just gotta get their way through to the final boss and beat it, and that's it.
Yeah, I think Neon will find this Dr. Luge fight very agreeable as well, which we know will also net another ninja sword. So yeah, I think Neon is gonna be pretty, hopefully not too much standing in the way of them also finishing the seed. Although I will also express concern one more time about the lack of white mage, but maybe there's something Neon knows that will help with that aspect of things. Maybe a bunch of wine that I'm missing.
Maybe. Anyway, I will let you guys get back to that.
Yeah, it looks like we'll get Couch 23 to hop on in and talk about that run as soon as we orchestrate that.
Fantastic. And yeah, in-game time sub-hour, so there were some parts that Couch reset out of, or obviously that first Zeroma swipe that did not count. So that's pretty amazing.
Yep, and as we're going through with neongray's Dr. Luge fight, one nifty little thing that we get is seeing where various key items were hidden throughout the game, including ones that we saw and ones that we didn't. So, yeah, indeed, the magma key was on the moon. Because, of course, it was.
Of course. I will let everybody know, because it looks like Neon's feed may have briefly frozen, but Neon is still fighting Balnab Z, I can confirm from my view here. So, and we are joined by Couch 23, the winner of tonight's race. Couch, GG's.
Thank you.
So I bet you weren't expecting one like that.
I was hoping it wasn't, but then it turned out to be, and then darkness showing up really early. It's just kind of the icing on the cake.
So it seemed like, well, let me step back. Your grinding plans, because obviously you got through the objectives pretty quickly. Were you how long were you hoping to get Tella? And clearly, once he showed up, that kind of redirected your plan.
Yeah, from the minute I saw the Sand Ruby, I was looking for Tella. That's why I hit up all those spots right away. And then Darkness Crystal just sealed that up even more.
The Sirens Cough is just a contingency plan.
Yeah, it was more in case like I found magma, I could just go down and toss some sirens and get a few levels before going up to the moon. But then darkness came up and I found Tella a hook and nothing else. So I was like, well, no better time to learn the new manip than now.
Have you done that manip route?
I mean, I've done something like that for vanilla, but I've never done that actual setup before.
It definitely feels like it has some advantages over what we're used to. But you do kind of, it might just be specific to the randomizer because you're, picking up the whale and you're like kind of already a hop, skip, and a jump away from Baron already. So it doesn't seem like it's too bad to go ahead and get going on. But I like how you can basically just walk into the room on the giant and turn encounters on, and you don't even have to go all the way to the save point.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah,
that's very nice.
I mean, how have you been? Are you gonna be in the league?
Yeah,
next month.
I am.
Nice.
I am.
So you've been practicing and getting ready a little bit.
I've been trying.
Yeah. Have you had a seed like this before?
I haven't had anything this jetty. I've had some really quick ones, but nothing this quick.
Yeah, I don't think any of us have seen one quite this quick in a while, if ever.
We were rooting for both you and Neon to pick up that Edward from Baron Inn and just go for it too. But I know, like on one hand, I'm actually, or like I think Hupfin and I were both talking about like, okay, it's kind of cool, but it's also kind of boring. So for something like this, it felt maybe a little bit better not to do like the Edward strats. But like with that in play, like you could definitely see a scenario where somebody that was comfortable with that could probably finish this seed in maybe like 40-45 minutes probably.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I just want the boy to get some respect is all. I just want Edward to get respect. That's just how I am.
Eddie is great. It's just Eddie strats on Ceromus is just I'm gonna step away. If I lose sometime in the tournament due to Eddie strats, then more power to them.
Yeah, I get you. I'm there with you for sure. So, all right, and it does look like Neon took out that Dr. Luge, so gets some more levels on the team there. What changed, Couch, for you between that first and second Zeromus fight, by the way? Because we did see you have to take a reset there. And it was mainly, it just seemed like you missed maybe like a nerf or something, but you did another fight, you got like a Murasame, but then you kind of just went back in there and took it down.
Yeah, so what happened was Tella was still like level 20 originally, and his agility being there with him anchoring is usually not the best when you're trying to go Zerk. So I was like, well, Luge's there, it's pretty easy, let's go knock him out of the way. And that'll get some level on Tella, and that kind of helped adjust Zeromus' speed. It allowed me to nerf things a little easier, because that first nerf that the first nerf after the initial one I tried to do on the first fight was did not go through, so that's why we popped that reset.
Yeah, that was a nice adjustment, and definitely worked out fine. The second fight just seemed extremely smooth. So, oh hey, it's Golbez.
Ew.
Ew. We don't like Golbez. Hupfin, was there anything else that you noticed from the race, or anything else that you wanted to ask Couch about?
No, I was mainly wondering how the grind was going to end up going once we saw the crystal, 8 minutes in? 6 minutes in?
Very few minutes in. Yeah, that was something else. I have not seen a crystal that early. And then Go mode was like maybe 12, 14 minutes or something.
Yeah, exactly.
It was so
like
insane.
Immediately right there.
Yeah. Oh, I have a question. What did you think of that Twin Harp song?
It wasn't bad. Thought it fit pretty well to like the actual sound for the SNES.
Yeah, it was a very, very good conversion job. And it's for me, it's nice to know that that's in the pool, just, so I never have to go suggest that. Like, it's out there. It's out there.
You can rest easy. It has been included. What about that Zeromus sprite? That was the cute variant. Was it sufficiently cute for you?
Oh, absolutely, without a doubt.
When you're a big kitty fan anyway.
Oh heck yeah.
Palm did so good on the harp. I agree, Scala. That was fantastic. And I got to listen to it, just a few seconds of it, but I'm going to do my best to try to watch the VOD back or find it in one of my own seeds so that I can listen to the whole thing over and over and over and over again. Does look like Neon has this Golbez fight under control, which is really good. Sometimes Golbez can be a bit of a jerk, so I didn't see what spot it was. I'm guessing based on the magic damage that it's probably the Pale Dim spot, or I'm sorry, the Plague spot. So
yeah,
that shouldn't be too bad for magic damage. Now you're just trying to keep the team upright so you can get the XP from that. So
yeah, depending on the spot, Golbez is either his spells are okay, whatever, brush him off, or you need to get those Star Veils or Moon Veils up immediately because he'll quad 9 you, or pretty close to it. You want to make sure that he's quad 9ing himself. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so this is like a really good example of how the randomizer works, because what's happened here is all of the bosses get shuffled and randomized, but they get scaled to the stats of the boss that you are fighting against. So in this case, this is the spot where you would fight Plague for Kane's White Spear in the original game. The spot doesn't have any magic attacks really whatsoever to speak of, so it has extremely, extremely low magic attack. So then when we find Golbez here, who has his attacks are entirely magic based, they don't do very much damage because of the way the scaling works. So Ralthian, who was Z, you're just gonna have to wait until the next fight. That'll teach you to show up late for the Z fight. Although to be fair, it was pretty early on in this seed, so I don't blame you on that front. I'm scolding you lovingly. All right. Where are we at here? It looks like Neon's party is all like low 40s maybe, so we're getting there. We probably need a little bit more. You want the party to be in the 2500 range. I think Neon still really wants a white mage. Neon is exiting. I think Neon might be going to take that Baron key back down and try to find a white mage. Or maybe just needs to rest. I don't know. I think that was the whole bottom of the moon, maybe. So
I think there was still the Ogopogo spot inside the lunar core, but that is a fight you want to rest up for ahead of time.
yeah, good call. I think that they didn't have any more healing. Did we see what that Ogopogo spot was? I don't think we did.
No, Couch never dipped that. He went for the Dr. Luge fight at the lunar spot, the ribbon room. That was it.
We can go find out.
Yeah. Yeah, looks like Neon Gray is heading back to Earth. If they happen to stumble upon the pass, that's all the better. That is a pseudo key item. It's not counted as a key item for various purposes, but it's still pretty useful and important. It lets you get to Zeromus without going to the moon. It's just a straight beeline to that room.
It is nice, yeah. We could see Neon doing some checks here and maybe just going to do eggs now too. We'll see. Oh, Avenger's really nice.
Yep.
Oh, hey, Couch has gone and shown us a very, very free fight at that Ogopogo spot.
Incredibly.
Especially if you pick up some coffins.
Yeah.
Yep.
So with free bosses on, these guys are basically a random encounter, and they are weak to the spell Fatal, which Coffin casts. So you can just one-shot each of them individually. And if you take out the commander first, the soldiers... Yeah.
You were going to say it. Go ahead.
the soldiers just take care of themselves, thank you very much.
Yep. They're like, we don't know what to do without our leader. And they start punching themselves and each other instead of you. So. Yeah, Neon back down here in Baron. See what they decide to do next. They have so much money.
And so much
I think this
inventory.
is just a little bit of inventory management more than anything, but yeah. Okay, that is very nice. Cure 3 should be enough actually to get Neon through the Zeromus fight with just a few more levels now. Cure 3s, they will turn anyone into a white mage. Or your money back.
Yeah, that's what we like to call a chemist strat. You'll, depending on what characters you get available, and certainly if you're running a flag set that restricts your characters even more, we're generally in agreement. Sid is a pretty good chemist. He's useful for that.
Absolutely. Any number of these. Kane will also be a good chemist as well. Edge might be a little bit low on the damage front, but it's gonna be just fine. I think that we're gonna be just fine here. Just need some more levels, and not even that much more on the level front either. Eyeballing that drain spear.
Honestly, if Neon Gray goes and does that officer and soldier fight that Couch showed us, they might be good to go.
I think I know what's happening here. I think Neon is about to show us some Drain Venger strats.
Ooh, I love that. So there's a few glitches with this game. It's an old SNES RPG. It's going to happen. And one of them is around the Avenger Sword in particular. If you have some other weapon equipped, And then mid-battle, you switch to the Avenger Sword, as Couch's lovely guide is alluding to. The Avenger Sword gives you the Berserk status, so that fighter will just start swinging. And they'll start swinging so quickly, the game can't update the stats. So that Avenger Sword will be behaving as if it were whatever that character had equipped earlier. So if you have the Crystal Sword, well, they're going to be doing Crystal Sword damage. And if you have a Drain Sword, well, they're going to be stealing HP.
It should be enough to keep them alive. With enough hit points to begin with. Couch also showing off some of the fun dialogue that we have in the game. All of the dialogue has been changed. There's actually one funny Easter egg that we did not get to show off tonight because we never made it underground, believe it or not. But there is a dwarf that we all affectionately know as Job Dwarf. And in the original FF4, Job Dwarf hangs out in the town of
Tomra.
Thank you. Tomra. Starts with a T. There's a lot of T sounds or T towns in this game. And he just says, "I am a farmer." And ooh, stealing some Artemis arrows. I like it. So I am a farmer, except one of our community members, Rex Raoul, thought it would be funny to have Job Dwarf have a random job in every seed. So that is a thing that exists now. Job Dwarf with a random job in every seed. And we got a raid from Possumorpheus. Shoutouts to Possumorpheus, another awesome member of our community. Thank you so much for that raid. We are watching the end of a Final Fantasy IV free enterprise race, which was super exciting and super jetty. The objectives that our runners met in order to get the crystal, which they both got in under 7 minutes, was clear the Mist Cave boss, rescue the hostage at Mount Hobbs, and cure the fever with the Sand Ruby. They had an edge start, and the starting item was the Sand Ruby. So there you go. So we got Neon trying to finish up the seed here. Couch taking us on the world tour, showing off some of the other really cool free enterprise stuff. And Couch, feel free to narrate your journey along the way if you would like, because I do see that you're still hanging out with us here.
Yeah, I'm just heading down to check that job dwarf y'all were talking about.
Nice.
Yep, we'll have to get through a fight or two, specifically two. But I think you got the levels.
And we see the power of Drain Venger here on Neon's screen. That Kane pretty much can't die because they are swinging for 600 to 700 damage vampired onto their life total per swing. So like the Terminator, you can't stop that Kane. Couch finding the Calcobrainadals.
And taking care of them before they get too scary.
And now the carries are offering hugs. That's so nice of them. Except for the stone part, I missed that. I just saw the health go up. I'm like, oh, that's so nice of them. But then, yeah,
nope,
not so much. Oh, that's not good for Neon though. Neon wanted that XP. Oh well. Dragoon Spear is nice. That is actually, most people would argue that is Kane's best weapon.
Yeah, there's a few candidates for depending on exactly how you're handling things. Defense sword, white lance. But yeah, it's you take what you get. And Kane's got some good stuff. Yeah, that would have been the chest item. 'Cause that was a trap chest fight. The carries are one of the easier trap chests on the moon, but that's mainly because your competition there is stuff like behemoths and red dragons.
And blue dragons. And red dragons and blue dragons.
Yeah, it's occasionally said that the trap chests on the moon are as hard as boss fights, and certainly with the wrong party composition, they can be.
That is true, but they do give amazing XP. So
Oh,
there's
yeah.
something to be said for that.
That's one upside. I tend to play with flag on that means that trap chests can have key items, and that results in a lot of running through the moon, hitting up all the trap chests to try and find that key item that you need. And it's scary, but man, you come out of it with a lot of levels. You never have to grind doing that.
Absolutely. And speaking of a strategy here, so Neon has changed course. So picked up that Dragoon Spear, which has does quad damage to dragons, and gonna attempt to fight some dragons. Unfortunately, Kane goes down to a paralyze. We need to get that taken care of. But if Neon can get through a couple of these fights, this is a very good grind fight. This is a traditional grind fight that you will see a lot of our runners do, although a lot of times not necessarily with this party composition, but this can definitely work. Just needs to keep that Kane standing and swinging. There we go. The reason that first one didn't do quite as much damage is that Kane is not back row glitched, and that particular dragon was in the back row. So we have fixed that now. Also getting that life glitch off, very nice by Neon.
And also meeting our pesticide handler.
Oh no, pesticide
Hey,
handler. Cecil just punched it for some reason. That was funny. All right, there's 90k XP. That's more than pretty much every boss fight in the game except for one. So Neon is... Here we go. Neon's going to start racking up the XP here. That was a Siren encounter, by the way, too. So that is repeatable. Definitely trying to hold on to as many of those Cure 3s as they can. They have, to be fair, Pesticide Handler is a really good job for Job Dwarf. They have some really big bugs in the underground. Have you seen some of those like butterflies that are down there?
Yeah, they're proper terrifying.
They have a really bad bat problem too.
There's I don't think mobiles count as bugs though. I think those are firmly in the plant department.
Yeah, you would need an herbicide for those for sure.
Yeah.
One thing that we didn't well, did we talk? Yeah, I guess we did talk about the auto berserk status of the Avenger, but that's why Kane is just swinging freely now.
The centipedes in the Sylph Cave aren't that bad.
Are we gonna name all the bugs in Final Fantasy IV now?
Well, how many of the bugs have we turned off?
They're some of our favorite bugs are still enabled. All right, got another life glitch off. One cool thing that Neon could do, which they haven't done, and this is like a super high level thing that just occurred to me. So Neon could go into the fight with the Dragoon Spear, put the Dragoon Spear, or Avenger on the Dragoon Spear Kane with the original Dragoon Spear holder. And then Neon could actually turn around and equip the Dragoon Spear on the second Kane and start fighting with that Kane as well. So that's just a fun little thing that just occurred to me.
Yeah, because the whole, like, the stats not resetting, that's a quirk of the Avenger and its auto berserk. You can swap weapons mid-fight, and it does reflect that.
And Neon just forgot to re-equip the Avenger here. Let's see. Let's see if they can get through this fight without it. Be a good time to remember that they could equip that Dragoon Spear on the other cane. We'll see. Also, ow.
Yeah, unfortunately, having that Cecil around, Cecil being a paladin, very much interested in protecting, so we'll cover any allies that are in that critical HP state.
There we go. Okay, Artemis arrows are also do quad damage to dragons. This is a good plan. Come on, Neon.
Ooh.
No! Oh no. Oh no.
Oof, this is a bad state. Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
reset. Oh.
It happens. It unfortunately happens, but had not saved in a while, so
Yeah.
Gonna have to recoup
that's the
that,
really
but-
unfortunate part.
the nice thing is knows how to put all the pieces back in place now to hopefully make that go a little bit more quickly, assuming that they can remember which chest they got that Dragoon Spear out of. And yeah, I realized the Artemis bow and Artemis arrows option as well, but it was just unfortunately a little bit too late.
All right, so hopefully we can get out of this fight without too many hugs.
Yes. Stealing those Artemis arrows again too, nice.
All right. While we're waiting for the pieces to be put back together, I would like to take a moment to thank all of you wonderful people for being here. Every last one of you who has been a runner or who has donated or just stopped by and watched or lurked. You're all very important to the amount of work that we're going to be able to do with this. And the donations and the love that we've gotten has just been insane this weekend. Yeah, I don't know, because it's getting kind of late for a lot of us. I don't know how much we're going to be able to do after. Yeah, Desi is in chat, basically showing how tired we are. Can't even type donate. But yeah, like, we're not sure how long we're gonna be able to go after this for the closing segment. But we would like anybody who can to go in. If you're in the Discord, or if you're not in the Discord, you can !Discord to join the Discord. And in the Hangout area, we are going to, go over our thoughts together about the event, and talk about things. We're going to have at least a couple of giveaways. We have some the Steam keys, including a Steam key for Bleed 2, which was one of the runs that was done earlier today with Fire Splitter. So definitely stick around for that if you're feeling up to it. And if you want something cool for your donation, we do have merch. Our Teespring merch page is going to continue to be up. This is not limited time merch. We got Team Parsnip and Team Strawberry shirts from our meme from competitive / friendly Stardew Valley. We've got Abraham Lincoln saying gay rights t-shirts from one of our many weekly community night streams, which we were doing Jackbox and TKO. Just, we got a lot of stuff coming up. We got a lot of love and support from you guys to help us get off the ground with this NPO and help end LGBTQIA homelessness. And, we just really appreciate everything every last one of you has done this weekend. Just thank you. Just, yeah.
I feel like Desi's emote use in chat says all that needs to be said.
Yeah, I just have to, quickly chime in as well and just say organizers of this event have just been incredible, and they're doing such a fantastic job. And I am very honored to be a part of this event as a gay man myself, and someone who really cares about these causes and really wants to support them in any way that I can. So thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much for having us from the Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise community. And I know that everyone was very excited about this and really honored to be a part of your event this weekend. So thank you.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you for having us.
I think Neon is really got things going here. Not gonna wipe again, I hope. Things are looking pretty good here. Already back up to the mid 40s, so pretty much already recovered to where they were before. So that is nice to see. And just needs to tack on some more levels here, and then hopefully we'll be able to go take out Zeromus. Now, Kane, attack the front row one. Don't betray us and attack the back row one that you can't do full damage to. Come on, Kane. Okay, or attack the front one and not kill it. I guess that's double betrayal. So there's those Artemis arrows now also from Cecil that are just also going to be doing that quad damage. Just a ridiculous amount of damage. So that's what that's the magic right here for Neon now. Just gonna take these dragons out in pretty short order, I think, and tack on quite a bit of extra XP here.
Yeah, once they have the flow going, that's tons of XP to add, and it's not quite as dangerous as it might look if you have the equipment right and all of that.
Now, there are certainly things that could make this less dangerous, like a white mage, but Neon doesn't need no stinking white mage.
No,
they got this. Quint.
We like to use the phrase "power overwhelming" for certain strategies, and we love to see them when they occur.
Really going for these the life glitches here as well, which are really worth it to get that double XP. You can get one per fight because you can't do it on the last one, but as long as it's not the last monster you kill, you can use a life potion there and get that double XP. So very nicely done by Neon again. That would have one-shotted that one. They only have like 8,000, 8,500 hit points, I think, so anything starting with a 9, that thing's going down.
Meanwhile, Couch has decided to break out of reality employing the game's famous stair glitch to just go wherever. It is a glitch that, if you know it very well, and a lot of vanilla speedrunners will, you could do whatever you please, and it looks like nothing's happening, but everything is happening.
This is just the bonus content that you get with an entertainer like Couch 23. Just always trying to give the people just a little bit more. And it looks like Neon's going here. I'm wondering if they're gonna go for those Drain Venger strats. I think that probably will work. We'll see. Gonna make a go at it here though.
So yeah, let's get excited. Let's get energy to Neon. We know they can do this. And finally, if you haven't had the chance to see the cutest butt in the moon, well, we're about to.
Wait for it. Neon's probably like, where's that crystal? I had that thing almost 2 hours ago. I know it's in here somewhere.
It's not like you can get rid of it.
That's true. The game will not let you get rid of that once you have it. Zeromus is just over there shaking.
Just so angry.
Like, come at me. All right, here we go. Again, you donated for it. So enjoy the cute butt. The cutest butt in all of Retro Rainbow Land. Hello.
It's adorable.
It is very adorable.
It's adorable and deadly. Destroy it. Destroy it now.
It's too cute. It cannot be allowed to live. It threatens our very existence. Also, Kane is doing that drain vendor strat now, so I think as long as there's a couple parts of this fight that could get a little bit dicey where we really need some additional targets, but I think that as long as Cecil and that other Kane can stay standing here, we're gonna push through a lot of damage pretty quickly here. And we will see how Neon decides to make their way through this fight. Lots of darting. Darting's good.
Yeah, just throw swords at the problem.
Always works for me. Throwing everything at Halomus. Except for the trash can, because we can't throw that.
I feel like that would cause some kind of logic failure.
So I've heard. Oh, cannot throw the ice brand, interestingly enough.
So yeah, we're not seeing extremely big numbers on these attacks, but we are seeing a lot of attacks, and that works just as well. The whole idea with the Quint Zerk, as we like to call it, just get everyone berserked. You basically clog the action queue, and Zeromas can't do anything. Like, big bang your party down.
That is very important, yes. Another thing that the Avenger gets around is that Black Hole ability that Halomus just used. That does get rid of all of your buffs, except that the Avenger gives the Berserk as a permanent status, so it does not get rid of the Berserk. But if you had like a Berserk spell, or you had used one of the aforementioned wines and that Black Hole hit, you would be needing another dose of that Berserk. Alright, and now it is Kane going mono a Kato. And there's a couple scary things like that virus that can happen. Yeah.
I was gonna say we do have a Discord chat open for like timing and everything, and Neon had just said time to sit back. All
Dang it.
yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately. I would say if I was going to do this, I would probably want to keep a second. Well, the virus is going to hit it. The virus hits everybody, so that's not really an option. But later on, there's some nukes and stuff, and it might not be a bad idea to have a second body up, just as a backup. Neon thought they were going to be able to just cruise across the finish line.
They are going to give this at least one more go.
All right. To be fair, the cat has won more times than our runners tonight, Wolfman. It's cat 2, runners 1.
Cat always wins.
They're so good at murdering, it's unbelievable.
It's like almost mildly distressing.
If completely unexpected. Or expected, not unexpected. Yeah, Couch also wiped his first time fighting Big Kitty. It was a Jet Seed. They had go mode within 15 minutes.
Yeah, the real challenge of this seed was how do you grind and how do you get ready? And Couch taking that D machine grind, that shows how efficient it is if you can make the stars align for it. And even then, like he was getting beat up in the process, so it wasn't an easy one. Neon Gray took a different route that wound up taking more time. It's the sort of thing that it comes down to.
Yeah. I just think too, Neon unfortunately did not get a white mage in their party.
Yeah.
And I think there were probably some reasons for that made a lot of sense at the time, but ultimately when you're sitting here staring down Zeromus and your best option is Drain Spear Avenger, I think probably most runners would say I might have wanted to make a different decision with my party composition at some point. That being said, this completely can work. Just getting set up here.
Yeah, I mean, how much time did we spend talking about a strategy that on the surface sounds like it would be impossible, but it's something we see people do on the regular.
Mm-hmm.
There are so many ways to take on this fight.
All right, here we go again. Once more into the adorable breach. I do think one adjustment I saw Neon make is, so we talked about agility very, very early on in this seed, but one of the things that is specific to this flag set is the concept of vanilla agility. And what that means is the Cecil that is in Neon's party is the agility anchor, because that's how it works in the original game. Normally, well, I shouldn't say normally, but the main default setting that we see with the randomizer is not vanilla agility, which means that whichever character you put in the middle slot is going to be your agility anchor. So in a seed like that, that middle edge would be Neon's anchor, but because Cecil is in Neon's party, Cecil is the anchor in this seed. And that is a little bit tricky. So I think one of the adjustments I saw Neon make was to start the fight with that Drain Spear on Cecil, which is really smart because that gives minus 15 agility, which slows Cecil down, slows Zeromus down. That should help out quite a bit. And then also it does appear that they've made that adjustment trying to keep a second party member alive, which makes a lot of sense as well. So some good adjustments all around here. Would love to see them try to keep that other Kane alive too, though, because those jumps do really nice damage. Hey.
Making use of that supply of Cure 3s that's sitting around.
Yep, you get through this fight, you're not going to need him anymore anyway, so... Also, dodging the Big Bang with that jump, that's also a really nice nice tech there from Neon.
Yeah.
Yeah, just now you can get Cecil back up, hopefully. Even if that that virus, that counter virus does come out here, not counter virus, but that virus comes out here. That other Kane... That's actually the next time around. You should be in better shape. And Zeromus is definitely slower. I saw that Kane on the bottom swing twice between the Big Bang and the Black Hole. So that is also going to help out quite a bit. So this is looking better for sure. Dodging the Big Bang with the jump again, really nice. Because this should be where that virus comes out.
Yep, there it is.
And the Kane with the drain sword actually survived it anyway. Got a nice dodge there. On we go. We're still in the first phase of the fight. If you're seeing viruses, that means we are in the first phase of the fight. Later on, the script will change a little bit. Zeromus will counter, or won't counter, but will do a nuke during those in-between phases. So once we see the nukes, it's bad because it's nukes. It's good because it means we're in the second half of the fight. So
Yeah, and there are precise ways to skip various phase transitions. You can skip the medio phase entirely if you're able to just do the right amount of damage at the right time. Those are very precise strats, and that's not Neon's approach for this fight. This fight is just do your damage, get through this adorable little nightmare.
the only thing standing between Neon and completing the seed is a... I'm assuming all of the characters are normalish height, so probably a 50-foot tall Hello Kitty.
It's quite large.
It's definitely larger than a regular kitty. That is for sure.
I'm trying to find it, but I saw Scala Kitty had posted a bit of a source and like why this was the sprite they decided to use as the cute option, and it has to do with Hello Kitty and being in the Gundam universe, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I said, there was a Hello Kitty game in this marathon, so I don't think any other explanation is needed. But that makes sense still.
Mm-hmm.
I could see so does that imply that there is a pilot inside that Hello Kitty miss? Like a
That's an
Gundam
option.
pilot?
That's a possibility.
Okay.
It could be that Zeromus is piloting this Hello Kitty.
That's some deep lore right there.
There you go.
We are also, I'm just going to add, we are also in that second phase because we did see a nuke previous to this Big Bang. So as long as we don't see any bad luck here, this is looking pretty good for Neon. Blink.
That knocks out a Kane, but the other one is still swinging and Cecil's still up.
Opting for a heal. You saw Neon visibly going back and forth between the life potion and the cure 3. Opted for the cure 3. And okay, now we get the life potion.
That Kane is gonna have to take a bit of time. Just get swinging again.
That wasn't too bad.
No, but it does have to loop back around to their turn for the Berserk to start firing off.
There is actually a glitch that can happen where if you use the life potion too quickly, the Avengered character will not keep attacking. Oof. All right, I think it's gonna be, unless Cecil can survive this.
Ooh, that was a safe roll.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty important. Neon does not want to just go down to that Kane only, because that could be really bad. Ooh, nice crit. Neon's also very low on Cure 3 potions, so I'm sure that's also something that is on their mind, sort of rationing those to make sure that they don't run out here. Nice jump. All right, is Cecil's luck gonna finally run out?
Not yet.
Nope. That Cecil's got many lives. That's actually the preferred option, I think. Get some more characters up here too. You're gonna give yourself more swings with each character here. I think Neon is trying to push this to Meteo phase. Oh, there's the shake again. They use that last Cure 3 potion.
There's rocks. There's Meteo.
Oh boy. This is exciting. Now this should be okay, because Kane probably cannot take so much damage from those Meteos that they would outrace the Drain Sword, but we'll see. I still would prefer to have this fight done if I was in Neon's position.
We are down to rocks versus Drain Venger indeed.
Oh boy, get your popcorn. One for one. We're playing rock, paper, drain sword here. Oh, that time. Okay. Yeah, I think this is looking good. This is looking good.
Yeah. If Neon can get lucky with Kane's dodges, Meteo can outright miss. And that would be just a wonderful sigh of relief.
Yeah, it looks like the way the ATB is working, Kane gets one attack one time and then 2 attacks the next time. So should get 2 here. Go all the way back up to full. Yep. I think this is pretty much over. I don't see anything bad that could happen here. So I think Neon has this. Just coming down to the end. Poor Hello Kitty's like, I'm doing everything I can. I can't squash this darn dragoon.
Kane's like, I'm doing everything I can. And there we have it.
All right, GG's to Neon Gray. Let's get those GG's out in chat, everybody.
$207.30, but really it's the perseverance.
Holy crap, that was a nail biter.
That was not a Zeromus fight for the faint of heart.
A whole hour of perseverance.
Yeah, that was really well executed, and it's just like, that is the great thing about randomizers. For those of you who are speedrun fans or gaming fans and you don't play a lot of randomizers, I promise you randomizers will make your brain work in ways that you are not used to, and it is so fun and it is so stimulating if you have that kind of personality. And I think that is one of those things that just kind of binds us all together, those of us who are fans of these kinds of ROM hacks. You could literally see the gears, well, maybe not literally. We could sort of sense the gears turning in Neon's head as they were trying to figure out that Zeromus fight. Quite very much like one would figure out like a giant puzzle or something like that. Doing that all on the fly, you know, making the best decisions possible, and that was just fantastic to see.
Oh yeah, it's perfectly fine for Neon to come in. We just gotta wait for Neon to come in if Neon wants to come in.
Well, let's see what they say.
And then get to a place where I can pull them into the chat. That was a wild ride of a seed.
That was very intense. It was full of twists and turns and, you know, puzzles where you would not expect there to be, you know, puzzles, and just really, really fun stuff. So glad everybody got to see that tonight.
Welcome, Neon.
Hey.
That was an intense final battle.
Yeah, it was. You know, I was like, I don't think I'm gonna win this, so I might as well show off. And then I didn't win this, so I might as well show off.
Hey, we'll take some showing off.
I mean, to be fair, Couch also lost to Hello Kittymas the first time.
Hey, that's a scary boss. I mean,
Yeah, nothing that adorable could ever be safe.
yeah. I mean, did you see how many times she shot meteors at me? I mean,
It's an incredible amount.
It was very interesting seeing the Drain Venger strat, single cane being like, whack, meteor, whack, whack, meteor, whack, meteor. Just the back and forth. It's like, is there going to be a let up? Is there going to be a point where something happens where one of them, you know, trumps the other? Or is it just going to be a battle of attrition? And it was the battle of attrition.
Yeah, that's kind of how the Drain Venger goes. Like, I was begging for Meteor the whole way, because I'm like, that phase I knew would be safe, more or less. The rest was tricky.
Yeah, it was really interesting watching you managing the resources during that fight, especially in the middle, where you could tell you were getting close to the end, but just sort of like rationing those Cure 3s in particular. Just like, do I really want to use that one here? And, you know, Cecil had a couple of really nice dodges, and it was just super interesting to watch for sure.
Yeah, it's I figure it's not a play you're gonna see often. And it's like honestly the way I played the whole scene, don't play like that if you want to win a race. But you know, by the time I got to that, I was stuck with the choices I had made, so I'm like, what's the best way to do this?
I mean, you wound up at the, point where you didn't have a white mage. You had a half white mage out of Cecil, and that's about all you got.
Yeah, I had a stack of Tier 3s. I could have bought more. I opted not to for some reason. I had the Avenger, the Drain Sword, which I'm glad I bought that. I picked it up thinking, there's no white here in Emlyn. If there's no white on the moon, I'm gonna need that Drain Sword because you can do the same thing with a Drain Spear, but you need to grind a lot more on the Cade just to get his accuracy up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know I'm sure you've been doing a fair number of these seeds, Neon, because I believe you are planning on doing the league in a couple weeks. Am I right?
I am all signed up. I haven't played as many as I'd like to, because there's only so many hours in the day.
Yeah, but it is fair to say I've known you for a long time. You have played a lot of Free Enterprise.
Yes.
Have you ever seen a seed quite like that before?
No, not at all. And it's it was like 90% of everything I love in a seed. That missing 10% though. Oh boy.
Yeah, that's oh man, that's gonna be a memorable seed for a while.
Yeah. That was actually a lot of fun, and I really like it put me onto a track of thinking a certain way of how I was gonna do the seed, and then it kind of yanked the floor out from under me, and I'm like, well now I have to think about this, and that was a lot of fun. That was a good challenge.
Yeah, you don't understand how crazy it was. Like, you guys got the Sand Ruby right out the gate.
Yeah.
Both of you had the Dark Crystal in like 7 minutes, and then Couch went to the Twin Harp Cave.
Yeah.
And then you went almost directly after, so it was like. We got the Twin Harp music back to back.
Nice.
With the Still Alive music. It was just amazing.
And I mean, if that's not the theme of the way that Zeroba's fight went, what is really?
Indeed.
Whew.
That was so much fun to watch, and thank you so much for coming out and doing this tonight, Neon.
I'm really happy too. I mean, just working for a fantastic cause right here, and like I said, I'm not the fastest. This wasn't the fastest, and even I could have gone faster. But it's like I had a show that needed to be put on, apparently.
Yeah, absolutely. We got to see some pretty cool different strats from both you and Couch that we don't get to see all the time, and that's just because this is one of those seeds that doesn't come around very often. I mean, I can't think of a seed like this where you're in go mode, 14 minutes in or whatever it was, and the character set was very odd. There, I guess there was a Porum, but we prefer Rosa. Let's just be honest.
I thought about keeping the Porum. I even thought about taking that Tella I got that was in Evelyn Cave. I'm like, well, I could grind with that. But then I'm like, no, let's go for a true Quint, and then I couldn't. But.
Yeah, but it was like you said, it was a really fun puzzle to watch you solve, and I'm glad that you enjoyed it. We had a lot of fun watching it, and thank you so much for sharing it and being a part of the marathon.
I'm glad it was good to watch too, because sometimes these really jetty seeds they can be a bit. They're not always the best to watch, just because everything falls into place too quickly. But this was interesting.
Yeah, the boring parts can be like the grinding, and Couch did a D-Machine grind, which, I always find pretty interesting to watch and kind of explain to people, and I know we've had a lot of folks watching tonight that maybe don't watch a ton of Free Enterprise. But yeah, like, if you sit there with a stack of sirens and just kill 30 eggs or whatever, like, that's not always the most exciting thing to watch for sure. So we did manage to avoid that, and I think that there's something good about that for sure for a marathon.
Yeah. I'm glad the seed was the way it was.
Yeah, it was crazy to watch.
Thank you everyone for having me, and yeah.
Thank you very much. Hupfin, do you have anything else that you want to ask Neon before we sign off and hand it back over to the event organizers to do their, I think the finale, I believe.
No, I don't have anything else, so I'll just thank Retro Rainbow for having us, and thank Couch and Neon Gray for doing the run. And yeah,